Good morning all, and welcome to your special birthday edition of Just Another Magic Monday. Your weekly forecast for the week ahead, guiding you every single week what powerful cosmic energies to synchronize with, what negative cosmic energies to avoid or not put energy to. My name is Comet. I'm your guide. Week after week, Magic Monday is posted every single Monday morning, 2:30 a.m. PST, 5:30 a.m. EST. So it is ready as soon as you wake up with your warm cup of coffee, with your tea, with your MagicMind, which I discussed within the last video. And you can check them out via the link below. And using this code, I highly recommend it because Girlie's been popping them right before she starts filming, and I'm just like so locked in. So I highly recommend that if you are looking for a healthier way to caffeinate and get excited for the day, when that genuinely supports your body with natural ingredients. Highly recommend checking that out. So let's talk about this week. So we are discussing the week of February 21st to February 27th. What are the cosmic energies? What to expect from this week's astrology? And if you are new here, every single horoscope forecast, I start off with vibe check of the week, which is essentially a thematic take. So you can sort of liken what the astrology feels like to a real life situation. I'm gonna put my tea down, but cheers y'all. Let's make it a beautiful week. This week's astrology feels like the sort of feeling that you get when there's a new connection. And you can think romance, you can think friendship, but that feeling in particular, when it's like a whole new world of possibility opens up. It's like you guys are just brainstorming on a really lazy Sunday afternoon, like, oh, we can drive up to that cute mountain town, we can go to Disneyland, let's take a trip to this festival. It's like when you find someone that you generally click with and generally connect with, all of a sudden this new world of opportunity opens up to you, of things that you want to do with them or places you want to explore with them. And it's almost that sensation where you're just together and you're just brainstorming. It just feels like the world is your oyster at that moment. That's what this week's astrology feels like. And notice that I didn't say actually doing all these things. It's the sort of sensation when you have this new connection and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I exist without you? And you feel like you have all this time. You're being a little over optimistic on time, which unfortunately not every single connection lasts forever. But at the very beginning, you're like, how could I ever not be your best friend or be your partner? Like, I'm obsessed with you. I love you. Let's do all the things, right? This week's astrology is not actually doing all the things. It's brainstorming all the things. It's thinking about all the things. It's feeling like all the things are possible, but it is not doing all the things. And outside of that, it is a very romantic week as well. I will call out the pics that I have for date night or to go out if you're looking to meet someone. And without further ado, I'm going to take it day by day. So let's start with Monday, February 21st. So on Monday, we have a Scorpio moon Monday, so emotions might feel really intense. The highlights of Scorpio moon, even though the moon is in her fall, is that we can have an enhanced desire for intimacy, to go deeper with people, to discuss, what's really under the surface, to really dig into those connections where you really have that sense of intimacy and vulnerability. And that sort of connection might be limited to just a couple people, but my gosh, isn't it a special feeling when you genuinely feel that with someone, when you genuinely feel that feeling of emotional safety? And that's sort of taking back to the vibe check, this sensation of like, this whole world opens up to you. And like Lana Del Rey said, they say that the world is built for two. I mean, not to say that everyone needs to have a partner. There's such value in being intentionally single and taking that time for yourself. But it is so nice when you have a connection, whether it's a friend or a new relationship where you're just feeling seen and understood in that moment. And it's like an entirely new world opens up, because it might be fun to go to that restaurant or go to Disneyland or whatever by yourself. But when you're with someone else, it just has a sense of excitement because you get to feel their excitement and yours as well. So anyways, Scorpio moon is that depth of a moon, and it's trining Pisces sun. So yes, definitely expect to feel very emotional on Monday, moon day. Not my pick for doing anything crazy technological. We are getting out of Mercury's shadow. Hey, Venus doesn't clear the shadow until the beginning of March, so still hold off on any Venusian matter. So Venus is love, beauty, leisure, significant purchases, financial decisions, so on and so forth. But this isn't the time I would necessarily, finally do that technological thing. Finally switch over your laptops, as the Scorpio moon will bicker with Mercury, it'll bicker with Uranus, which can just create unpleasant experiences, particularly as technology is concerned. And then later that night, all's well that ends well, as the Scorpio moon will trine Jupiter in Pisces, which again is those emotions, but it feels like more positive emotions, a deep level of connection and depth and love. Tuesday the 22nd, sort of waking up in a not great mood, not a great mood. There's a lot of responsibilities, there's a lot of obligations. There might have been something that you missed the day prior, because with that Scorpio moon squaring Uranus and Taurus, it's sort of like something that throws a wrench in your plans, right? Like you're chugging along, you're like, I'm gonna move over my computers, and then finally there's like an update that won't stop, and you're like, dang it. And because that was consuming your energy, you could have missed something, an important email, an important assignment, an important to do, and the morning just feels like scrambling, like, oh my gosh, I gotta get this deliverable over, or you wake up to email of like an unpleasant task that you have to do, and it's like, oh gosh, or like an unpleasant, reminder from your kid's PTA, something. It's a bad wake-up call, it feels like, on Tuesday, but it will not stay that way, as the afternoon has some lovely energy. That deep, insightful Scorpio moon sextiles Venus and Mars in Capricorn, which is passion. I mean, this is really great for dates. It does exact PST wise, like sort of at 1-2 p.m. So I don't know if you can necessarily get a date then, but if you can go on a little afternoon date or just something to invite in some romance and allow that experience to really be your most rawest, most authentic self. That's what Scorpio moon wants, is that feeling of intimacy. And that's why when you find those connections, this whole new world opens up for you, because you don't have to mask anymore. You don't have to fake it. You feel comfortable. You feel seen, which is truly so nice. And then later that night, the Scorpio moon will trine Neptune in Pisces. Great romantic, creative energy. Again, this week is about dreaming it. It's not necessarily about doing it. We are in the waning moon. This time, again, with the vibe check, it's not about doing all the things. It's not about actually booking that trip to the mountains. It's like the vibe I get is just like looking up at the clouds and seeing all the shapes and talking about, we could do this and we could do this and we can do this. And will you do all those things? Probably not. But this isn't a sort of week about reality. This is a week about connection. This is a week about dreaming. We are in Pisces season after all. And imagination in the dream world can be a form of sustenance. Coming from the Pisces herself, trust me. You might think that something doesn't have value if it doesn't exist within reality, but even just co-creating a daydream or a fantasy or scenario with another person around, what if we do this? What if we do this? It inspires feelings of joy, even if we're not physically doing it. So if anything this week, I encourage you to be creative. Let your mind drift away. It's Pisces season. If you look at a Pisces, trust me, they are only maybe a quarter there. I probably vary from being a quarter there to 3/4 of the way there. I'm never fully there. Part of Pisces is always going to be dreaming and daydreaming. And it's productive. It might seem like a waste of time just looking up at the clouds and look at the shapes and dreaming. But sometimes there can be particular scenarios around, we're putting out all of these ideas and it's like, oh my gosh, a mountain town, wouldn't that be cool? And maybe one of those ideas will come to life, like noticing which daydream really activates something within you. It is productive to dream, it is productive to create, it is productive to daydream, especially Tuesday afternoon, evening. On Wednesday the 23rd, the moon enters Sagittarius at 5:29 a.m., which draws our awareness to the big picture vision, excitement, optimism. So the moon is void until 5:29 a.m. Midday, we have a last quarter moon, which is a crisis moon, as it's called, because it's sort of this energy around having to shed and release something that could have been illuminated from last week's Leo full moon. Not all lunations are created equally for our charts. Some moons will light up your chart, like the 4th of July, and some it's pretty chill. So if the Leo full moon wasn't that intense for you, I wouldn't expect anything major to come to the surface. If your Leo full moon was a lot of drama and a lot of intensity, you can always check out my last Magic Monday to find out more about that Leo full moon story for you. Then you can find some revelations coming out, or it's like maybe something came to the surface and it's like you need to let go of one particular thing. Like in that dreaming, you realize, ooh, I'm really not dreaming about this trip. I'm really not dreaming about this volunteering opportunity that I just committed to do the next year, maybe there's some way I can redirect. Like I'm noticing it doesn't excite me as much. My passion, my heart isn't there. That was part of the Leo full moon. So there could be revelations coming up on Wednesday. There's a really mystical aspect happening with the Mars in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces, both arguably comfortable. Neptune doesn't have any official dignity as it is a modern planet. You know, when they established dignity, Neptune was not discovered yet, so it doesn't have dignity, but it's argued by modern astrologers that Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, so arguably Neptune in Pisces is comfy. Mars exalts in Capricorn, so it's comfy too. You can always check out my video, Astrology Transits 101, to learn what I mean when I say those terms. But with the two connecting, comfy as can be, there really is this can-do energy. There's this possibility, and it's like this energy around we can make anything happen. We can co-create our dreams, and it's like maybe we don't have the time, like within this connection or within this daydream, to make all of these things happen, but we can make a couple happen. Let's notice what we get super excited about and put energy towards it. That's the highlight of this. The downside is we can find that we are a little bit more distracted, heads in the clouds, spacey, all over the place, and that's okay. It is okay. After this last quarter moon, we're officially like in the waning phase as we prep for next week's Pisces new moon. So it's not that you have to launch out all of these things. Just notice what grabs you by the soul, what grabs at your heartstrings, and then note that, journal it for next week's Pisces new moon, which is so mystical and so beautiful, and I'm so excited for it. Hi everyone, forgive the interruption. I'm editing, and I wanted to mention that on the mystical, magical Pisces new moon next week, I'm launching a moon workshop. It's 100% free, and we're diving into how to nurture your own moon signature. So your moon sign and your moon phase, how to better understand your emotional landscape, how to better care for your emotional landscape. We are also diving into how to synchronize with nature by living out all of the moon phases, what it means when you get your cycle with each of the moon phases. Loves, I'm so excited. I would love for you to be there. If you can't make the live recordings, you will be sent in a recorded version, so make sure to sign up. 100% free, loves. So March 2nd to the 4th, we'll kick off at 4 p.m. PST every day, and I really hope to see you there. And I'm just so excited to be able to offer this totally free offering so you could dive in deeper to your moon if you've been feeling called to dive into its wisdom and insight. So see you there. Then we have Mercury in Aquarius sextiling Chiron in Aries. This was part of the Mercury retrograde story, so there can be certain illuminations from that period coming back up to the surface. What was it that called at your attention? I had this conversation with my mentor this morning on our call. It really helped me sort of reframe Mercury retrograde, because it's not mean for no reason, right? Like there's just certain things that the universe wants to draw our awareness towards. Like for me, it was like low-key devastated when it happened, but I lost a ton of work, like something that I've been putting my heart and my soul into virtually got corrupted, and it was pretty heartbreaking. However, I can either be upset about that or just feel like, okay, maybe that was for a reason. And the more I contemplate it, the more I feel like it was, like the universe was drawing my awareness towards, okay, there was something within that rendition of this project that wasn't right, wasn't authentic, wasn't what it needed to be. And now as I remake up that work, I'm finding this enhanced clarity with it. So there can be a thing like that for you around that Mercury retrograde. It was so frustrating in the moment. It was so heartbreaking. You were so sad about it. But maybe you can look back and say, okay, I'm starting to realize why I had to lose those particular files. I'm starting to realize why we had to have that particular disagreement. Maybe, you know, there was something missing from the files that now when you recreate, you can supplement. Maybe there was aspects of the boundaries with that relationship that were being addressed, that disagreement made you bring up. Like there is this energy with Mercury retrograde of the universe just drawing your awareness to particular areas of your life and what might need to be redone or reviewed. And we could be angry about that, or we could just sink in with the energy and be like, okay, Cosmos, this is annoying, but I hear you, I see you. So with Mercury sextile Chiron, there could be that. There could also be a healing in regards to the language that we employ or give to ourselves. And then the Sagittarius moon also trines Chiron in Aries. So Wednesday night feels very healing. On Thursday, the 24th, we have a stack day. It's a very Jupiterian day as we have the moon in Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter on Thursday, which is Jupiter's day. So all the Jupiter vibes, and Sagittarius moon will also square Jupiter in Pisces to start off the day, which is going to imbue us with good feelings, excitement, optimism. Not everything is peaches and roses on Thursday, as Mercury in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. And now, this is technically the first time this aspect has exacted. It got so close before Mercury stationed retrograde. So now Mercury has officially entered new territory, but it's sort of repeating this aspect that it almost got to, this territory it almost got to, and it's a wrench in our plans. It's like this sort of sensation where you are with this new connection, whether it's a friend or a lover, and daydream about all these things, looking at the clouds, then you look at your phone and you're like, holy cow, I missed 2 meetings in the time that we've been daydreaming. My workplace is on fire. They had all of these questions for me, and where did the time go? I don't know. Because oftentimes when you're in that connection, it feels so dreamy, especially since Thursday we have Venus sextile Neptune in Pisces. I'll expand on that in a second. But just to expand on Mercury square Uranus, it's the sort of energy that rips us out of that daydream, and it's like, okay, wrench in the plans. You thought you were just gonna daydream for a couple hours, then get back to work. The sun's going down. The sun's going down and the deliverables were missed and everybody's upset. That's just one manifestation. With Mercury square Uranus, other manifestations, there could be unexpected news, unexpected activity in the media. You could learn something shocking. There could be strange tech issues, just a wrench in the plans. With Uranus, it's expect the unexpected. And with Venus sextile Neptune occurring the same day, this is like the sort of day, Thursday, that time just slips through your hands. Does anyone else have severe time optimism? Can you comment below if you too have severe time optimism? Because the amount of stuff that I put on my to-do list and the amount of things that I'm like, oh, I can get that done in an hour is absolutely insane. And Mercury retrograde in my 6th house made me look at that. Like, girl, we gotta talk about this, because you constantly feel like a failure because you're not living up to your insane expectations of filming like 10 recorded readings and 3 videos in a day. Like, it's just too much. So, and particularly with Neptune aspects, it makes that time slipping through our fingers sensation even stronger, which is why the Venus sextile Neptune feels like this reverie, it feels like this daydream, it feels like just getting lost in your imagination, and then Mercury square Uranus is sort of ripping us out of it. So definitely indulge in the dream, definitely create. Venus is beauty, so with Venus sextile Neptune, you could find beauty everywhere around you. Would be a lovely day to dress up, put on some makeup just for yourself, maybe get lost into a movie, into some records, into some beautiful scenery, take a long walk in the park, any way that you can imbue more romance and fantasy into your reality. Venus sextile Neptune will adore it. This is also very romantic. So if you're looking to meet someone or you have someone that you want to go do something with, this would be a great date night. Just know that with Mercury square Uranus, there can be something shocking said on the date or just some sort of wrench on the plans of the date. Like you go to the establishment and they're closed because it's all staff party or something of the nature. But just stay open. With Moon in Sagittarius, life is an adventure. We're feeling optimistic. So if that place is closed, find a new place and just view it as an adventure rather than a hindrance. And the closing aspect is the Sagittarius Moon square Neptune in Pisces. So definitely watch the wine on the date. But this is getting lost energy, getting lost in one another, getting lost in a connection, getting lost in daydreams. Like definitely if you go on a date on Thursday, like spend some time just like seeing what the other person envisions about the future. You can definitely learn a lot about someone that way by what it is that they dream about, what it is that they see, what it is that excites them. So take some time to co-creatively paint that picture of your future together. Maybe not if it's your first date, but if you're in a relationship, this would be a really great time to do that, to build that co-creative dream together. On Friday, February 25th, there's no way for me to say this in a not awkward way, but let me just preface this and say that astrologers are birthday people. Okay, we take birthdays very seriously. We work with birthdays. We understand the sacredness of birthdays. So I'm just gonna let you know that Friday, February 25th is a certain astrologer's birthday. Just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know who, but someone in the astrology community, it may or may not be their birthday. It may or may not. And for their birthday, there is a Capricorn moon sextiling that sun in Pisces. So hypothetically, if it was someone's birthday, I would say with that Capricorn moon sextile Pisces sun would be a great time to dream, co-create what the upcoming trip around the sun is going to be. Do keep in mind that we are in the waning crescent moon, so the balsamic moon phase at this time. You can find that you're craving a little bit more solitude. You're wanting to come inward. That's another part of Pisces sun, particularly as the moon gets smaller and smaller and smaller as we prep for the new moon. Just fear not the look inward. Fear not going deep with yourself. We're closing out a lunar cycle, so it's sort of a time where a lot can come to the surface that needs to be shed or released or purged. So just let that happen. And with this harmonious connection between Capricorn and Pisces, I mean, the Capricorn placements and the Pisces placements have been like flirting all season, right? And it's really this energy around build the dream, and if it has enough power and energy behind it, you can co-create it into reality, because that's what Capricorn moon is about building, refining, improving, building from the ground up. Saturday, the 26th, is my sister's birthday. So happy birthday to my sister. It's always been so special that we have our birthdays together. When I was younger, I definitely used to resent it. I was like, one cake, and then now I just think it's so special and so cool that of all of the days, me being the younger sister, I was like bratty enough to choose a birthday one day away from her. So I'm sorry about that, but it is special and is cool. And so sis, I love you. I hope you have an amazing day. And for your birthday, there is this rush of creative energy. The Capricorn moon trines Uranus in Taurus. So it's this earthy connection around what is it that we can create? What is it that we can build together? And not necessarily that this aspect is together oriented, but just tying it back into the vibe check, like the sort of energy around, okay, we have all these dreams, it's Pisces season, a lot's coming to the surface. What is it that we want to put our physical energy behind? And feeling like there's possibility everywhere. Like I said, feel like a whole new world opens up when you feel like you found the right person to share those experiences with. And the Capricorn moon will sextile Jupiter and Neptune. Oh, so just so lovely, so dreamy. Get lost in the dream, embolden the dream. Another really great date night. Sunday, the 27th, is honestly another great date night. I'm telling you, the vibe this week is very romantic. And when I say romance, I don't just mean, traditional romance. There's a lot of ways to be romanced by life. And it's just a sort of energy where, our world will just have an extra glow about it, an extra specialness, an extra loveliness, an extra romance. Like you can, invite romance into your life via movies, via music, via fashion, anything in your life that gives it that extra sense of romance and mystery and drama and excitement. Doesn't necessarily just have to be it. Or, planning friendship dates or something of the nature to delight in this planet and the good things that it can bring. And I say this because the Capricorn moon passes Venus, passes Mars, passes Pluto, which is a little intense, but alas, there is this deepening around what it is that we find beautiful, what it is that we are motivated to take action towards, what we are passionate about, what we are magnetized towards. There is a depth there. This all happens sort of in the middle of the night. So this really will feel more so Saturday night, but Sunday morning would be a great day to just lays in bed, take a bubble bath. The moon's void until 10:36 anyway. So take some time to just dream, just luxuriate, just slumber. And then at that point, the moon enters Aquarius. And then that's the last aspect of Sunday. Do keep in mind, be gentle with yourself if you're tired. Be gentle with yourself if you're exhausted. Be gentle with yourself if you're emotional. Balsamic moon phases are about purging and releasing and shedding. So if you feel a sudden impulse on Sunday, I want you to follow it. So if you suddenly are like, I want to clean my house, or I want to get rid of clothes, or I want to apologize to this person. I just want you to follow your intuition, because it can be a really powerful introspective time. It can be a really powerful time to look inward, to shed, to release, whatever it is that you do not want to bring with you into the next lunar cycle. Friends, I'm wishing you the most beautiful week. The Magic Monday mantra of the week is aspire to be inspired. This is brought to you by my tea today, actually. The actual quote on the tea was aspire to inspire before you expire, but I just didn't like the expire part. I was like, I'm not gonna expire. Like, people don't expire. Are they saying before you die? I guess so. With this week, aspire to be inspired. Of course, with that, you know, the Capricorn moon and some other energies this week, the Mars in Capricorn, there is this energy to want to be aspiring, working towards things. But with all this soft Neptunian energy, with all this Pisces energy, allow your mind to be nourished by new ideas and by imagination. It is not unproductive. It's quite productive. Coming from Pisces, so I might be a little bit biased, but allow yourself to nurture the gardens of your mind and of your imagination and your daydreams, because it's this sort of week where you can really create, you can really find a lot of beauty within your external world. You could really find a lot of beauty in co-creating with a loved one, a partner, a friend, seeing what their, you know, ideal future would look like. Again, with the waning moon, it's not necessarily the time of like launching out all these things. We're finally clearing the shadow of Mercury. So trust me, the go time is almost here, but this is more so the week around launching out all these ideas to see what really pulls at your heartstrings, so that when it's go time, you know what to go towards, because you know that that is the vision that really gets your heart racing. Friends, I'm wishing you all the most beautiful week, and I just want to say, you know, birthdays make me so, I don't know, emotional, all the things, who knows, but I just want to give a heartfelt thank you. Thank you to every single person for being here, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful. Something about birthdays, solar returns, they always make me a little emotional just as I look back on the year and I look forward to the next year. So I just want to thank you all so much. I absolutely love starting my Mondays with you. I love doing it in my 27th year of life, and I'm gonna continue to love to do it in my 28th. So sending you all so much love, and until we meet again, drink lots of water and stay magical.